Did Core Tackle just come up with another gimmick hook, or does this really catch fish, guys? We're about to talk in depth on my experience from using the Core Tackle Strut head the past few months before it came out on the market. And in this video, we're going to share the difference between this and a normal ball head jig, when to throw this one versus the ball head. I'm going to talk about the soft plastics that I've used and had success with it, and some bigger soft plastics. We're about to talk about, guys, some big 7-inch minnows, which is one reason why Core Tackle decided to come up with this strut head. And then also in the video, near the end, we're going to talk about different retrieves with the minnow. We're going to talk about a little different retrieves, when to do, and why. And guys, welcome to the Fishing Coach YouTube channel, to Jimmy Eastland, go by Coach E. And the jig head minnow has been the hottest technique in the last year, but it's been something that's going on for 2 to 3, 4, and longer, okay? But a lot of people want to learn about it, so we're going to go in depth on it, guys. I know my jig head minnow videos lately have been a request. I do my on-the-water lessons where we specifically do this, and we also do offshore lessons, electronics. I do a variety of lessons depending on what type of angler you are and what your needs are. But guys, so Core Tackle is very innovative, okay? That's one of their things, is they don't want to copy other baits like the Cinco and copy this and that. They want to create an innovative hook, an innovative bait that can fit your needs and that can serve a lot of different anglers. So with the strut head, let's look at it right ahead to a ball head jig. And right away, one thing you see is I have a loop knot. People that know that fishes with me, is I went to the loop knot early last year, and it was something that like I've kind of got believed on with the minnow, okay? And one thing with the strut head is right away is you do not need to use a loop knot. Now, you do not need to use one with this either, as you've seen guys, I'm not going to say the names, if you watch tournaments, some use just the Palomar knot. You always don't have to use a loop knot, but I've seen instances where the loop knot comes through. But with the strut head, it's one to where if you just do a normal Palomar knot, the thing about this is the weight of the head. This is a 3/16 3/0 hook right here. The weight of the head, now this is one that I've been using. Now guys, I've not had many of these hooks. If you've fished with me, like I got 2 of each one originally. And I've lost some due to stripers getting them in the trees at Ouachita, or fishing in 50 foot and getting in a tree and I can't get it out. So I'm pretty low, and I just got my whole new Core Tackle shipment in, and I'm excited about it. So we're going to go all up in it here. So this is the 3/16 3/0 right here, okay? Now, one thing about it though, I will say, the weight's distributed up high. A normal ball head jig, the weight's kind of be in the middle, it's a circle, it's kind of evenly, there. But here the weight is up higher in the hook. When you let this sit in the water off the side of your boat, it's going to sit like this in the water. So when you are shaking it, okay, then you're shaking it, that's giving it more of an action. First time I ever threw it on my rod, I could tell when I was shaking it, it was a thump. It's like the difference between the jackhammer and a original chatterbait. Like I could tell, like I was doing both different minnows with the same thing, and I could just tell. So that was something to me, like, hey, this dude's going to give a very erratic action. Now I will say, like, here is this my first time holding the Bass Tricks. This is the Bass Tricks. I think what they call it, the Hover Tricks. Okay, yeah, it's the collaboration between Core Tackle and Bass Tricks, and this was designed for it. Johnny Matt designed this for it. Now, one thing I've learned with the strut head, it seems like here's another skinnier bait. These skinnier baits, it does a good job because it's rolling. And so that's why I think this one right here does a very good job. Now, one thing about the Bass Tricks, just talking about it real quick. I've not thrown it yet, but Johnny tells me they last pretty long. Like, I'm a big, I love it. Like here, this is a Sakamata shad right here. These are, don't last as long, hard to get. And anyway, now, and that just is what it is. Now, with the bigger minnows, that's one thing that this was created for. I got a couple here. I was having success early on with these hooks with the bigger minnows. So like, here's an 1/8 5/0 size. And these bigger hooks for minnows are kind of hard to find right now. And they have quarter, I'm trying to think what other size they got. They got a few. Here's a 3/16 5/0, but they have the 3/0 as well. So with those bigger minnows, like I've tested them on the Sakamata shad, it works, and that dude catches fish. But now, like here's another one. This is the Jerk by Crush City. You can't get these in America right now. But here's one I know that's had success with it. This is the Bass Tricks Duratrix Jerk minnow. So this was originally kind of intended for bigger minnows. But then when Johnny sent them to me and he was asking like, hey, what do you think? I was like, hey dude, I need for like one that fits a baby Z2. And so that's when they then came out with the 3/0 sizes. And from my experiences, there have been some of them tougher days where it's came through. Now, when they're eating a minnow, yeah, they're going to eat a minnow, guys. It just is what it is. But with this, part of the design with it is you don't need to tie a loop knot. You can just tie your Palomar, and you don't got to work it as much. There's times, and we're going to talk about retrieves later in this video, when you really need to work it. I mean, like from the kind of the pre-spawnage times through the post-spawn, you're working it. And we're going to talk about when working a vertical and horizontal retrieve here later on. And so with this, you can kind of work it a little less, and it's rocking. It's rocking. It's doing its thing. And with that rocking action, it kind of gives that bait fish more of a lifelike action. And like I said, when you see bait fish in the water, it kind of, you know, like there's been some underwater clips where like when you're shaking that thing, dude, it's rocking. It kind of looks like the real, it looks a little different than that paddle tail. So that's one deal about it. Now with these two, you're like, hey, Jimmy, what about a hover rig? Well, here's a hover rig right here on a 7-inch Sakamata shad. Okay, this right here is the 1/4 ounce. I believe this is a 5/0 hook, I believe, on the Sakamata shad. When you want to throw that hover rig, it's what I've kind of found out. Now my guys in the north, y'all got it figured out. It's a little different, but down here south, I like on the hover rig in that shallower situations when them fish are 5 foot and above. Now, if it's clear water, you can still throw it, but that hover rig is going to give it more of that gliding kind of erratic action, where this is going to be more in the area, and it's going to go like this. So if the hover rig and the normal hover rig, the 1/8 3/0 hover rig size, you can put that on a freeloader. You can put that on your wing fluke, your smaller, you know, Sakamata shads, whatever you want to do. Guys, really quick, I want to share a new map breakdown that me and Johnny Schultz from Fish the Moment put together into our live Sonar map breakdowns. On these map breakdowns, you get 40 waypoints of where we would start with using our forward-facing sonar to exclusively catch bass. It's going to put you in a creek channel and then put you near a structure nearby. On my lakes in my region, these are actually areas that I've had success with, that I've taken people on my on-the-water lessons with. So guys, if you are interested in those, the link to that's going to be down in the descriptions on the Fish the Moment website. If there's a lake you specifically want, send me a message on my Facebook page, and it's more for them fish that are higher. Okay, now with that too, okay, I will say, where's it at? Do I have it in here? The eighth 3/0 hook on a 6-inch minnow caught me fish the other day. An 1/8 strut head on a 3-inch minnow, 6-inch minnow, caught me fish the other day in 5 foot of water, and the boat was in 10. And that was fish that was about to, they're pre-spawn fish. They're wanting to be up there on the bank, and I'm throwing that dude up there and shaking. But with this, like I said, the design of this hook, and you see, like this one's, I mean, this is my last 3/16, and it's caught some fish, and these things, you can tell they're dang teeth marks all over this joker. But that's one thing that's really unique about this design, is it gives that action. Now let's talk about rods and retrieves, okay? And you see, I've already shared all those bigger minnows. Here's another bigger one that I'm excited about. These are the scented Z-Man jerk shads, 7-inch fluke, okay? This is similar to that Baby Z2. I love the Baby Z2. Here, I'm going to show you. I got a Baby Z2 right here. This is a quarter with a Baby Z2. It caught that one back there behind me. That was 11 pounds last year, okay? And it was a part of another double-digit catch that was with me as well. So, guys, now one thing about the rods, okay? Now, I'm going to show this one. This one was I got this. I got my hook and everything around. So here's a strut head on a freeloader. Once again, the freeloader is another one where it rocks really good. And the freeloader is just a good design bait with that. Now this is the 3/8 ounce. This is their heaviest one. Now a guy that was catching fish with me the other day is more of a beginner and fisherman, and so he has some success with it. I've had other guys as well, but this is going to be more for them fishing that 20 to 30 foot zone, okay? And now what I want to say with the 3/8 ounce and heavier, 1/2 ounce jig heads, 5/8 ounce, but this is the 3/8, okay? From my experience, okay, you want to shake that thing more up and down, the more north and south vertical. Now you can do that also with these lighter ones, okay? I'm just going to say that's going to work too. But from my experience, guys, on that retrieve, okay, you want to shake it more north and south because it's heavier, and with it being heavier, you want to keep it above that fish. You want to keep it above the cover they're on, okay? And so you shaking it and reeling it is going to bring it up more. Now, when you get into the lighter heads, like this 3/16 and the 1/4, the 1/8, the vertical is still a play. It is. But there are times you then need to go horizontal with it. And that horizontal shake, what's it going to do is going to create it more horizontally in the water. Think of it, your rod tips out, you're shaking it, it's going to be more horizontally, to where when you're going vertical with it, it's bringing it away. Now, once again, that's what I was mentioning with that heavier head. Okay, that heavier head, you can try to do it horizontally, but it's going to go under because it's just so much heavier. But when you get these lighter heads, it stays and floats, okay? And so it's a whole different action. It's like the old school with me with the fluke, fishing my lakes where I'm just fishing a fluke, EWG. I'm throwing it out there in open water off them points. I'm twitching. That thing's just darting everywhere and there's no weight on it and it's staying right there. So with these lighter heads, like this 3/16, here's another 3/16, that one right here, this is a 1/4, and each one's a little different with their action. Okay, like a baby Z2, it's this guy here, I mean, it rocks, but it also glides really, really well. Now let's talk about rods. Okay, talking about the rods, okay, a medium light's huge. A medium light is very, very important with the fish in the minnow, okay? Now the medium, there are some mediums that work as well. Length though is something I'm playing with. I've been very successful with a 7-1, 7 foot. I have a 6'10" that I like as well. The shorter the rod, the more accurate your casts are. The longer the rod though, like here's a 7.4 medium light fast. It's a Rake series by Level, $100 rod. This thing's sweet. Like if you put this thing in your hand, you wouldn't think it's $100. So I just got these, and I asked Level when they were designing the next series of rods. I was like, hey, I want a 7.4 minnow rod. I wanted a 7.4 so I can get a longer cast. Okay, and so I can throw that thing further out and be further away from fish. But then, like Drew Gill, who I think is probably one of the best at it, like, if you keep up with it, he's using a 7.3 a lot, and he's a giant dude. Like, he's 6'4", 6'5", I'm 5'10". So that's not of a long of a rod to him as it is to me. So that 6'10", I'm getting a more accurate cast, and I'm working it. And some guys like the shorter rocks. They feel like they can work it and feel the action better. So, guys, I want to hear your thoughts on it. That's just mine. Like I said, this Level NGX at 7.1, I love it. I love it. It's been my favorite that out of the rods that I've had. Like I said, I throw that 6'10", but I have people that like these shorter rods. So that's something there to speak about on the rods. Now, real quick, if you're still watching, one other retrieve we're going to talk about that if you're still watching, you get to see it, is letting it fall and not just working it. And this is you watching them on I got hooks everywhere in here. This is you watching them on forward facing. And this happened the other day a few times on one of my trips. It was pretty cool. So there are times when you throw it out and this thing's falling, and the strut heads especially, with this weight, it falls a little different, okay? And I've had this, I'm about to show y'all a clip of it here in a minute. So when it's falling and then you see a fish shoo, coming up, there's two things you do. One, you don't mess with it and let it keep falling, and then fish are going to eat it, or they're going to follow it down to the bottom. Now, how I fish a lot of times in super deep water, it's hard to just let them follow it all the way to the bottom, because this thing could be falling, it's like 20 feet, it's 50 feet, and that fish is coming up, and it's hard for me to let that thing go all the way down. So that's the first thing, is you let it go all the way down, and they either fall to the bottom and they attack it against the bottom, or you work it off the bottom and we'll just see if they eat it or not. Or as it's falling, they eat it. Now, the other thing you do is, as you see them coming, you click it and start working it and give it that action of it going away from the fish. But sometimes when they're really eating, you can do that and they're going to catch it. They're going to eat. But when in those tough days, they know something's up. Like, hey, that thing was just there, now it's not. Like they know something's going on. So that's something you got to read. But on I've done this a couple times. Like I got a video clip. It happened the other day at Washita on 2 separate trips where this thing was falling, and these fish came, and I never clicked it. And then they came and they ate it, and I could tell that, like, how they ate. I looked at my line, or I could just kind of tell, and I clicked it and then just kind of leaned into them, okay? So that's something there for you guys to continue to try and test, okay, guys? That's so cool. Oh, look at the big old spot. Look at the big old spotted, 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 spotted. It's a big fish. Yeah, it's a bass. He's acting like a bass. Now I know what they look like on your graph.
Yeah.
And now I know. Guys, appreciate you watching today's video. Let me know if you have any questions, anything in the comments. When you're watching this, hopefully I'm catching fish at Table Rock with it, and I'm going to have some footage, more footage with the strut head, maybe get some uncuts done and get a couple other kind of videos for you guys here on the Fishing Coach channel. Now we're about to get into the Faith Juice segment where I share a scripture or share a story, motivation piece of the video today, and it's outside. I'm outside right now. I forgot to film this earlier. It's chaotic with the kiddos, as you guys, if you watched the whole thing and saw. And it's crazy how earlier today it was hot, 40-mile-per-hour winds, things on fire, like my house didn't have electricity for half a day, and it's freezing outside right now. It's like it's cold. It's like it's 40 degrees again, and I don't have enough clothes on. Like I walked out here in my sandals, and it's still windy and it's cold. So the last Faith Juice, if you watched, which was my uncut video from Washita, that day was March 16th, so we did the John 3:16, and that was a Sunday at church. The guy, our pastor, preached on it. So what I'm going to do is go the next verse, John 3:17, which is as important to me as the 3:16. So 3:17 says, John 3:17 says, "For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but in order the world might be saved through him." And people always, I don't know how, Wendy, close Bible, I don't know how or what, got to the 3:16 to be such a one of those popular verses, but these 3:17 I think is just as needs to be added. It needs to be there. Is he did not come in to condemn. He did not come here and say you're wrong and to judge, and to come in just there, but to give us an opportunity for us to be saved. That's what it said, might be saved through him. And that's where it's us as humans. Are we going to decide that? Are we going to believe? And it's pretty interesting. That's all I'm going to say. And I know I just kind of used the judge word, and there is going to be a judgment day. Okay, like I said, I don't want someone to come at me right there. But anyway, it's pretty good verse. Something that we need to know and make sure that we're reading more than just the one that everybody talks about, 3:16. It's cold. I'm about to go inside, throw this in the video, get it edited up, or get it added on, and get this thing on YouTube for you guys and Facebook and everywhere else. Appreciate you guys, and we will see you on the next one.